Prabhu. So yesterday we were discussing about this verse Rati Pratigranati Guhyam Akhyati Prachati Bhunte Bhojate Chaiva Shabida Priti Rakshanam. Correct? So we discussed this point yesterday. So today we are going to bit elaborate that. So yesterday we kind of just gave a overall, but today we are trying to become more aware of those principles in day-to-day life and how we can apply and take benefit and what is the principle behind that that we are trying to discuss today. So let's go to the verse. This is the verse. Vadati Pratiganati, Vijayam Akhyati Pracha. Bhunte Bhojate Chaiva Shabida Priti Rakshanam. Okay. So the first principle is Tadati. Actually, there are three items. One is prashadam, one is gift, second is prashadam. The third thing is the Guhyam. That I will discuss that. What is that exchange happens in Guhyam Akhyati? What essentially we are trying to share, that also we'll discuss. Eventually, what it means. But people have sometimes different ideas what Guhyam Akhyati is. That also we're going to discuss. We'll get some idea. Okay. Can you put in the Zoom ID in the group again so that people get reminded? In case somebody wants. So, as we discussed before, how there are certain nisheth, certain vidhi, and in that we understood that to follow these principles of devotional service and to be able to avoid what is not favorable, what is most important is to be in association of devotees. And we discussed that how Sangha Tyaga Sato Vritte, that comes there. And also the previous verse talks about Jana Sangha. So both of them actually are trying to, both of that is actually trying to come to this conclusion that actually we have to stay with devotees. When we stay in the association of devotees, then we can very easily follow Vidhi and Nisheth. It becomes very easy for us. And in fact, the association of devotees is one of the 5 angas, which Srila Rupa Goswami Pada also talks in Nectar of Devotion. So there are 64 related principles he talks about. In that 5, he tells about the most potent anga of bhakti. What are those 5? So you can remember like this: A, B, C, D, D. You can remember like that. So it is Sadhu Sangha, the association of devotees. That is A, association. Then Bhagavata Shravana, hearing in devotee association. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, all this knowledge. Bhakti Gyan. And then chanting the holy name of the Lord, Nama Sankirtan. Then staying in the holy place, living in the holy place, that is Mathura Vas. And then Sri Murtiya Sevan, that is worshipping the deity of the Lord. So there's 5 important things. But among those 5, go chanting or no, you can pause chanting. You can complete and come. Either you can either drop it or yeah. So among that 5, the association of devotees is the key factor. Just 1 minute. Oh, we have to wait now because one devotee is chanting his rounds. Done? Yeah. Okay. So these five things we are saying, the five the associated devotees, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and worshipping the deity, staying in the holy place, and one more, Nam Sankirtan, chanting the holy name of the Lord. The five most potent anga of devotional service. So in that, this association of devotee is very, very crucial. It's very of most prominent thing is association of devotees, because the association of devotees only you get that shraddha to be able to engage in other devotional services. So that's why it is mentioned that in another also that how association of devotees is a very crucial thing, because in that only everything else happens in association of devotees only. So and this is why this verse becomes so important, because when you know that association of devotees is so important, then how to associate with devotees. So this verse is talking about that. So this is the general principles what this verse is talking about. And in further verse, the text 5, it will become a little more specific that how to deal and associate with different kinds of devotees, different levels of devotees. That will be discussed more in text 5. But this verse is more like a general principle. And this principles, what is mentioned here, as I mentioned yesterday also, that is there for the other, in the material world also. Kind of principle is there. There's a notebook and pen. And you can get a table so that you can sit properly. Can sit properly. Yeah. Bring the notebook and pen. So, yeah. So this way, this general principle is there. So I will discuss one item, and we'll get some more understanding about it. So, yeah. So he says, once we have the faith in us, in the, when we develop faith, then that faith leads to sadhu sangha. We know ado shraddha, sadhu sangha, correct? No? So that kind of faith which we need to associate with sadhus, that we may get by some unknown association with devotees. Some, it's called agyas sukriti. That is again, Madhur Kadamani very nicely describes that how one develops agyas sukriti by doing some service unknowingly. He may not actually have faith in bhakti or in devotees and the Lord much, but unknowingly he renders some service. He gets some association. So that kind of association leads to some shraddha, born of agyas sukriti. And then once the faith is there, then one can approach devotees. And then in that association, then he starts getting instruction, to start the process of bhakti. Then he start following the process of bhakti. And when sadhu sangha happens, the sadhu sangha, you develop knowledge about bhakti, the process of devotional service you get to know. And you also develop more faith. And then you can perform devotional service very nicely. So all the process of bhakti we can learn from devotees. So that's why the association of devotees is very, very important element. Very, very prominent thing. And the association is actually based on respect. So this is the very basic element of spiritual life. Okay? Association is based on respect. We can note down this point. Because when you want to associate with devotees, the respect is required. And you can see that in this world also, when somebody, like you see, when we meet also many new people, anyone who has developed some respect for devotee, respect for some holy name, respect for deities, respect for prasadam, some kind of respect. So that shows shraddha. Some kind of appreciation, some kind of respect is there. And respect means some appreciation is there. Correct. So that is the key. That's the key of then further going to associate also. Then when you can actually associate. So in association of devotee, that's why we have to always remember that the key is respect. So if we actually somehow become critical to devotees and we do aparadhas and we become disrespectful some way, then we will eventually not associate with devotees also. That's why it is very important. After coming to see, we came to devotional service because of respect. we had some appreciation, we had some respect. That's how we came to devotional service. But now, if we don't maintain it, then we're not able to associate devotees further. Correct, no? So that's very important. And then disrespect or taking devotees casually, that will lead to offenses, and then it further leads to, it's like a downward cycle. Then again you lose respect, then again you commit offenses, and further you lose respect. It happens, keeps going down that way. That's why respect is a very important point. So one should always be very respectful, in the association of devotees. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told this, Trinadapi Sunichana, Tarorapi Sahishuna, Amanina Manana, Ketina Sadahari. He says that one should string this, necklace of this verse. And one should always have this, one should always wear this on his neck. Because this will keep the respectful attitude to devotees, humble, tolerant, and having respectful disposition for devotees. So this attitude is crucial in the association of devotees. The attitude is crucial. So now, keeping this in mind, that association of devotees is a very important factor, for us to have further faith and further knowledge about devotional service, and to be able to engage in devotional service nicely, have nice bhajan kriya. So we need the association of devotees, and association of devotees only will learn all that. And we discussed that to have the basic element, what is required to have that kind of association of devotees is respect. So respect should be there, the humble mood and respectful attitude towards devotees. So now, having said this, now these six qualities, or six kind of principles, which can help one to develop affection and loving bond amongst devotees. So this is described here, and as I was saying, that it is there for the outside world also, but it works, in the spiritual circle also, very nicely. Though our purpose is to awaken, our love for Krishna, and go back to Godhead. So we know that purpose is spiritual. In material circle, the purpose may not be spiritual. They have some material, goal in mind. Like Prabhupada gives example, the businessman may also go to another businessman. They can have a lunch together, and then they open, their heart to each other, and then they can have a business deal. That's how the bonding is made, and they can flourish in their business like that. So this kind of thing they do there also. They also exchange gifts. They feed. They also accept the food, and then they disclose their mind to each other. So this they do in outside circle also. But how in Vaishnava circle we do it, that we may need to little bit discuss now. So in material world, in the materialistic world, people also give gift, but many times that gift can be some kind of status quo also. Like people give gift, but then they think that, okay, I'm such a big person and I'm giving gift to others. So he gets some kind of recognition. I'm giving, or you receive gift, then you feel that I'm respected, and then you also feel obliged when some opportunity comes, and you also want to give gift to that person and maintain that status quo. And sometimes for respect we may do that. In materialistic circle we may do for respect sometimes, correctly. So that can be one thing. But in devotee circle, we are not having this kind of attitude of having some respect or honor or some kind of status quo. Actually, the purpose is that we want to develop preeti for devotees. We want to develop affection for devotees. So giving gift is actually an expression of our respect and affection for the devotee. Our respect and affection for the devotees. So in the next verse, we are going to talk about Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttamadhikari. So Madhyamadhikari, he associates with devotees very nicely. So it says Prema, Maitri, Kripa, Upeksha. It will come in the next verse. So he loves. So Madhyamadhikari means is like a midway. A neophyte devotee doesn't know properly how to associate. And Madhyamadhikari, he actually associates with devotee very nicely. And Uttamadhikari is that completely on a spiritual platform. He's like Mahabhagavat, like that. So this verse, very nicely can be followed when we actually reach to the Madhyama platform, very nicely. Or even Kanishta Adhikari, if he learns the lessons and avoids Kanishta mentality, which we'll discuss in the next verse, then he can learn to associate and develop Preeti and come to Madhyama also, and then learn to all the more nicely associate with devotees, like that. So it's like a neophyte and middle class, and then high class, first class devotee, like that. So Madhyamadikari will very nicely do this. 6 exchanges, very nicely he will be able to do it. So, so when we offer gift to devotees, so what is important is the mood is to serve that devotee. The mood is to serve that devotee. Okay, when you are giving gift. So, and that's the intention, that you want to serve and please that Vaishnava. So that way we can offer some gift to the devotees. Like sometimes devotees may offer some jukebox from speaker so that devotees can hear the lectures. Or sometimes some devotees are given gifts. Let's say they're given some water bottle or some Kindle so that they can read Prabhupada books nicely. So sometimes devotee may exchange this kind of gifts, which can help them in their service. So giving gift, so giving gift to so that is expression of our affection, and also we are trying to serve that devotee. So the intention is to serve. The intention is to serve. So now we are trying to offer gift that is an expression of affection, but at the same time, it's also the intention to develop affection also. So we consciously also may do this. We also consciously may follow these principles in order to actually develop some kind of loving, affectionate feelings for each other. It enhances that. It enhances Priti also. Like yesterday, you remember we were talking about the devotional service. So, you are there? Yeah. So, we are talking about how devotional service, it's like service is the vehicle of devotion and also engine of devotion. So, vehicle of devotion means because by doing service, we are expressing our devotion to Krishna, expressing our love to Krishna. But when we are doing service, it also invokes the feeling of devotion in our heart. So both are there. It's a vehicle of devotion, it's an engine of devotion. Same way here also, it's a vehicle of affection. We are expressing our affection for the devotee by giving him gift because he is dear to Krishna. Every devotee is dear to Krishna, right? So we want to love him, we want to be affectionate. That way Krishna will be happy. So when I have affection for devotees, then Krishna will be happy because Krishna says, if you love me, love my dog. So I want to please Krishna. So I want to have affectionate feelings for devotees. Correct, no? So that's why we also do that act of giving gift in order to invoke that feeling of affection also for devotees. So that way also it works. So like that. So this is the principle behind giving gift, giving gift and receiving gift also, both. So actually, when we do this, and when we have the mood to serve, and then what happens is affection and the loving bond takes place. So what is not so important is the content or the cost of the gift or something. What is most important is our sentiment there, our intent and our sentiment. So of course, when we are choosing the gift, we can also think that how can I, give the gift which best serves the devotee. We always may think, like sometimes, like one devotee, he gifted to another devotee the photo with his spiritual master and some kind of exchange between him and spiritual master. So that reminds him of his spiritual master. That will help him in his service. So that is the intention. So that devotee was so pleased to see that. Correct, no? So that's why this principle of giving gift and accepting gift, it inevitably brings affection among devotees. So, and Prabhupada says also, when somebody is offering you a gift, then by accepting also you are contributing in that loving relationship. Priti Laksham. Yeah. So sometimes we should also be willing to accept. We should not be just like cold. Prabhu, I don't need it. Prabhu, leave it, not like that. So even the devotee has not, he thought to his best and he's trying to give us something. So we can express, we can actually accept that affectionate gift, because he might have, okay, even though sometimes you may not need, but you can lovingly accept, or you can acknowledge his love, his affection. That's important. Then second aspect, so here is about gift, right? So we discussed that. Now, the second aspect is, so any crucial point in giving gifts and accepting gifts, can you just summarize? Sumit Prabhu and anybody else, Kaushik, Pravashish, anybody.
So giving gifts and accepting gifts, it is also like the engine of devotional service, engine of devotion.
Affection for devotees.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also vehicle of affection. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And what else, Gopal?
You should not just give a gift like based on like how expensive it is or how nice it looks. You should also give it with like the sentiment, like do you want like are you actually thinking this out? Is this like a good, like in the sense like the mood you're giving the gift in?
Yeah, but what is the mood? This is what we discussed also. What is the mood? Mood is to serve, right? Facilitate his devotional service, serve that devotee some way, and help him increase the remembrance for Krishna. Some way it should be, in the thought that how can it facilitate or how can it, serve. We can serve and please that devotee. So we want to serve and please him some way. We give gift. Yeah, it may be sometimes some material gift, but the sentiment is involved and that has a spiritual purpose. Correct? Okay, going to the next. Then there's giving knowledge and receiving. So now, okay, the Guhyam Akhyati Prachati. So what is this Guhyam? Guhyam means secret. Correct? So secret is not some secret of this material world. Prabhu, I'll tell you the secret. What happened? That particular cinema actor. Actually, he had done this. I got to know the secret, and you tell to another devotee. So that is not Guhyam Akhyati Prachati. So Guhyam Akhyati Prachati means, so what it says, hearing in confidence from other devotees, revealing our mind and heart and hearing from the other devotees. So that way. So what actually the secret is, what is Guhyam is, you'll get the clue. So Bhagavad Gita says, Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam, there it says. So there also it says Raja Guhyam. So this Raja Vidya is Raja Guhyam. Is a king of all secrets. What is the king of all secrets? Raja Vidya, the knowledge of Gita, the knowledge of Bhagavatam. That is Bhakti Gyan. So this Bhakti Gyan is actually the Guhyam thing. So what one should share in confidence is the spiritual knowledge. Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katyantascha Mam Nitya Tushyantacha Ramanticha. So what exchange happens among the devotees confidentially is the exchange of spiritual knowledge, spiritual realization, spiritual sharing. Correct, no? Like that. Even if so-called, some kind of like difficulties or something is shared, the desire is to have some spiritual enlightenment. Correct, no? Let's say suppose you have some difficulty also. You want to share, confidentially with some devotee. What is it? What is the desire? What is the purpose? The purpose is that I receive some spiritual knowledge, some spiritual instruction, so that I can elevate my consciousness. Correct, no? So the whole exchange in that Guhyam Akhyati Prachati is nothing but spiritual knowledge. So hearing the devotee in confidence, revealing the mind in confidence means the exchange is spiritual knowledge. So there should be this Bhakti Gyan. So knowledge doesn't mean any kind of knowledge, Shushka Gyan or some kind of Karma Kanda Gyan or something like that, or physics Gyan, chemistry Gyan, or political Gyan. Not all that Gyan. Bhakti Gyan. Bhakti Gyan means the knowledge of devotional service. And another thing is that when you receive that knowledge, then you also share with others. Same knowledge you share with others also. So this is the basis of preaching in spirit of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when we receive the knowledge in confidence from devotees, there's a confidential knowledge. So that's why it is shared among devotees, who are the very confidential, dear servants of Krishna. So when we receive this confidential knowledge, then we also share this with those who are willing to receive. So Prabhupada says, I experienced devotee speaks and less experienced devotees hears. That's what Prabhupada says. So you have some experience and there are devotees who are more experienced than you. So more mature than you. So you should hear from them. And there are devotees who may be less experienced than you. There may be some, they may not be devotees yet, but they are innocent. They can become devotees. They're not having any envy for devotees. They're willing to hear. Innocent. It's called Balisheshu. So they're innocent. So to them also we can share the knowledge, and that's the essence of preaching. So this is the basis of preaching, when we hear the knowledge and you share the knowledge. So preaching is not only preaching to outsiders, new people. Preaching also happens within devotees also. Correct, no? So when Bhagavatam class is happening, when this weekly classes happen, so it's also preaching. So because there is one experienced devotee and there is less experienced devotee, and when experienced devotee speaks, and then less experienced devotee hears. So that way also there is preaching happening, and that Guhyamakhyati Prachati is happening. So Guhyamakhyati Prachati is happening within the temple also. So when you attend Srimad Bhagavatam class, that's why attending, because the devotee who is sharing the knowledge, he is sharing with this confidential devotees, in the temple, or those devotees are around, So when they're hearing, and they're receiving the knowledge, right? So then what is happening? That is Priti Lakshanam. Then you will develop affection for that devotee also. So that affectionate, bond gets established even there also. You getting, no? So it is, so that's why one of the way to have good Priti, affection for devotees is also that devotees can come together, and they have spiritual discourses where the more experienced devotees can share and less experienced devotees can hear. Correct, no? So that also is the part of Guhyamakhyati Prachati. Sometimes we may think, Prabhu, I have my own sadhana. I will hear in my room only. I can hear classes online, YouTube. I always keep hearing. Yeah, you can do that, but then you will not get Guhyamakhyati Prachati. The Preeti Lakshanam will not happen. The Preeti will not be developed among devotees. And we need devotees around us, those who are staying with us, to have affectionate dealings. So you may be, hearing hi-fi lectures on YouTube and all that, but we don't hear with devotees, you don't hear from devotees, then that affectionate feelings will not develop. You getting this point? So this is very important that we give priority to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam classes, weekly classes, whatever reading classes are happening. So we also get to hear from our devotees, those fellow devotees that are staying, some are, they may be more experienced devotees, we may hear from them. The less experienced devotees, we can share from them to them. We can hear from less experienced devotees also, their realization, what they're getting, and we can get inspired some of their realization also. But in general, the more experienced devotee will speak and less experienced devotee will hear and inquire confidentially, like that. So reception of knowledge is very necessary for advancement. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives highest knowledge in the form of holy name to all. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also is revealing this confidential knowledge, and especially is giving the knowledge of chanting the holy name of the Lord. And he also is telling that you spread this knowledge of holy name everywhere. And distribute this, Krishna Upadesh, and give this knowledge of Krishna to everyone. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also is ordering the same. So when we get faith, then by devotee association, we receive knowledge, correct? In devotee association, we receive knowledge, and by that reception of knowledge, then we can practice bhakti very properly. So we need this Guhyamakhyati Prachati. Suppose the Guhyamakhyati Prachati doesn't happen, then can we get proper knowledge? We cannot. So you can only develop knowledge, receive knowledge properly, only when you have this Guhyamakhyati Prachati, because you're receiving knowledge. That's a part of Guhyamakhyati Prachati. So if you're not receiving the knowledge properly, then probably will not follow Shuddha Bhakti properly. Will not be able to follow pure devotional service properly. So many doubts, will be there. We will not be clear about, how we should serve, how we should chant, what should be the mood, what should be the attitude, what should be my consciousness, what is, and many things about Lord, how Lord is the Supreme Personality, what the qualities of the Lord, what the nature of the Lord, what way we can please the Lord nicely, how we should respect devotees. So many things we learn in devotee association. So all this bhakti gyan will come, in association of devotees. So if we learn this art of Guhyamakhyati, we can progress very nicely. Sometimes very senior devotees come, like Radha Shampur is coming, now Chandamali Maharaj is going to come, Radhana Swami Maharaj will come. But then, so one of the way, so you tell me now, how can we receive knowledge from them? What are the different ways? Can you tell some of the ways? How can we receive knowledge from them? When these great souls are coming, what do you think? What are the ways we can receive knowledge from them? Or any senior devotees come?
Listen to their classes.
Yeah, sit in the class. If you just sit in the class, what is happening is Guhyamakhyati Prachati. Because he is speaking confidentially. When he came all through the flight, he did not give a lecture there. He did not speak about bhakti and not the scriptures. He did not give anybody, because that audience was not there. They were not ready. They're not at the receiving end. Correct. But when we are trying to practice and when we have that eagerness, then we can actually receive knowledge very nicely. So it is said that when the audience is very eager to make advancement in Krishna consciousness, then the speaker will also speak very beautifully. He also will give his everything. His best of the relation will be there. Correct. So we have to be eager for that association. Then the devotee will, in confidence, and we should be very eagerly inquiring. The inquiring may be actually asking question, and inquiring can also show in terms of eagerness. Where we want to know how to advance nicely. How can I chant nicely? Correct, no? So when you come in that mood to listen and understand, I want to progress in my devotional service, and you sit in the class, Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati is happening. Even though officially you may not be asking question, but you are receiving knowledge. So Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati is happening. Right? This is one of the ways. What other ways we can do? What are the other ways we can do Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati? Yes. Did you put in the group, Prabhu? Zoom ID?
Association with devotees.
Sumit Prabhu, did you put in the group?
Like what? Put in the group?
Yeah, Ajit just joined. Okay, just joined. Okay. Yeah, what else?
Hare Krishna, I'm so sorry. I was just wrapping up my lot of services, the garland service, and for tomorrow's cooking prep, because that's why I joined late. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no problem. Maybe you can catch up with the recording. We have recording also.
Yes, Prabhu, surely. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
So yes. So yes, what else we can?
Association with devotees.
Yeah, no, but especially I'm talking about Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati. So what are the other way? So you can also ask questions. Like the classes where you can even ask questions, or those are asking questions, you can also have your heart with them, meaning you're also very inquisitive to know about the answers what they're asking also, because all those questions are our questions also. Correct? No, many times, how many of you have seen sometimes when somebody is asking a question, we also have similar question. Correct? No, they may ask Maharaj how to chant attentively and all. So this is actually Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati is happening. Just by other people asking sincere questions, even though you may not be asking questions, just by paying attention to those questions and being very eager to hear the answers of those questions from Maharaj, from senior devotees, you are actually getting into Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati even there also. Correct, no? What are the other ways to have Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati? What else you can do? You can also go to the devotee and meet in person and inquire more. Maharaj or Prabhu, you have spoken this, so I'd like to know more how I can imply this in my life. So this is also Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati. Correct, no? So there's so many ways we can have this Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati, but because we don't know this art, so many devotees will come, go, but we will not make much advancement in Krishna consciousness. You understand? So how important this principle is of Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati? So important. So can you summarize now? Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati, what all way we can do? Sumit Prabhu.
So when senior devotee shares and neophyte devotee here, so that is Guhyam Akhyaati Prachati. And like if senior devotee comes, then we can attend the classes of those senior devotee, and we can also meet them in person and ask questions.
Yeah, correct. So basically, what is that Guhyam? That Guhyam thing is what?
Guhyam is confidential.
Yeah. So what is that secret? What is that secret?
It's a secret of related to bhakti.
Yeah. So secrets is Bhakti Gyan basically. We want to know how can I make advancement by knowing the secret of devotional service. Basically, Bhakti Gyan, Raj Guhyam, Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam we say. So that's why I was quoting that. So that Raj Guhyam is Raj Vidya, that is Bhakti Gyan basically. So, yeah, so there is. Yeah. Yes, I was saying, so to receive knowledge, no, so now when we have this kind of Guhyam Akyati Prachati, then we can know our goal as Prema Bhakti, pure Bhakti, and also our Bhajan Kriya becomes very nice. No? Because more we nicely associated devotees have Guhyam Akyati Prachati, then actually we can have much more clarity and much more conviction and much more inspiration and clarity how we can nicely do bhajan. Then our devotional service becomes very wonderful. So actually in the 6 loving exchanges, Guhyam Akyati Prachati is the heart of it, because Datati Pratigranati Bhunkte Bhajate Cheva, it should lead to Guhyam Akyati Prachati nicely. Because the purpose is to receive the knowledge and advance in bhakti and share this knowledge. So that is Guhyam Akyati Prachati. You are receiving the knowledge and you are sharing the knowledge. Correct, no? So this is the heart of this 6 loving exchanges. So many times, we may do, Dadati Pratiganati, Bhunkte Bhujate, but there is no Guhyam Akyati Prachati happening. Sometimes, there is a Prabhu birthday party, Prabhu gift, take gift, okay, feed. And we don't come together and hear classes. Then we don't, inquire or spiritual subject matter much. So then, yes, we are developing some kind of, affection, but then what happens is it may still remain on material platform. Because as I said, you can do that kind of exchanges in materialistic circle also, and you can have some kind of bonding, affection there also. So the heart of this Priti Lakshana is Guhyam Akyati Prachati. That we should ultimately. So I was saying that, so sometimes we may do that, giving gifts, accepting gifts, feeding, but then we are not having Guhyam Akyati Prachati. That's why it's important that we come together and hear, from some senior Vaishnava, experienced devotees, right? And we also, and another aspect of Guhyam Akyati Prachati also is to give knowledge to others. That means preaching. That is also very important. So, because Vaishnava is not miserly, we are not miserly that we just receive knowledge and we keep up to us. We also are willing to give this knowledge to others. Correct, no? So, as we receive knowledge, we make advancement, we have gratitude, and we also receive the instruction to give this knowledge to others. So, as I mentioned, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, Dara Dekho Tare Kahe Krishna Upadesh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told. And even Krishna himself has told in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, that one who shares this knowledge with others, such a servant, there is nobody more dear to me than him. Correct? So this is also, Guhyam Akyati Prachati in that sense. So with whom we do Guhyam Akyati Prachati? Those who are innocent. So with devotees and those who are innocent. As I said, you can share this knowledge, you can give the knowledge to devotees also. But they may be less experienced devotee, you can give them. That is also preaching to devotees. And then you can also give knowledge to those people who are not yet become devotees, but they're innocent. They can receive the knowledge and they can become devotees. So that's why preaching is also very important. So that's why in the purport also you'll find in the book, Prabhupada explains in detail about how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told to distribute the holy name, and a lot of glorification of holy name also is there in the purport. So that's why chanting loudly, doing Harinam, actually is also a part of Guhyam Akyati in that sense. Because you're chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, those who are innocent people, they will actually get benefited. Because many of them may become devotees just by hearing the holy name when it is chanted loudly. And even though some people, may not be that innocent, they may be sinful, and they may be like kind of bit envious, hatred, and all that. But some way or the other, they're getting to hear the holy name. Some way it will benefit them. And some, those who are like, say trees and viruses and animals and insects, they're very covered, they'll also get some benefit from that. So that is how it is so wonderful to distribute the holy name. So this is also what Prabhupada said, that one can distribute the holy name. It can come in the principle of dadati, because you're distributing the gift of holy name, the highest gift. But also in form of you're giving the knowledge of holy name to others, that is preaching, that comes in Guhyam Akyati Prachati also. So chanting loudly is most effective, and others can also get advantage. Correct, So, and so I was saying that one thing I just missed to say that. So this Bhakti Gyan we receive when we have Guhyama Khyati Prachati, and basically from Guru Sadhu Shastra we can receive this knowledge. And sometimes Shastras we may read, but when we associate with devotees, then we can get better understanding of Shastras also. So many times when devotees may read on their own, they may not able to understand much. They may not sometimes even start chanting or increase their rounds. But when they come in association of devotees, you can say very quickly progress happens. You must have observed this, for our own self and even for others also. You can see that when they come in association of devotees very quickly, because that Guhyama Khyati Prachati happens. You very quickly understand the Bhakti Gyan. And the knowledge of devotion service will become very clear. And then you can very easily get into Bhajan Kriya. Any questions or comment on this? Guhyama Khyati Prachati. So Guhyama Khyati Prachati is not just two devotees coming together and talking in secret, in privacy and talking anything. Prabhu, what we are doing, Guhyama Khyati Prachati, Prabhu. And they were talking anything, talking the fault of devotees or talking some mundane subject matter, talking about movie. That is not Guhyama Khyati Prachati. There is another name for it. That is Prajalpa. So many other things. So that is not the right thing to do. So Guhyama Khyati Prachati means Divya Gyan should be, Bhakti Gyan should be in the center. Like that. And as I said, this is the heart of Priti Lakshanam. Ultimately, we want to come to this, that we can receive knowledge from devotees and we can share this knowledge to others. That is the heart of our society. The whole society and Priti Lakshanam is meant for facilitating this. So if all our exchanging gifts and giving food, accepting food is all meant to have that affection for each other so that we can have Guhyama Khyati Prachati very nicely. Correct? And Guhyama Khyati Prachati also happens, then loving affection, the affectionate bond also becomes all the more solidified. That also happens. Correct. So, okay, so now next item is giving food and accepting. So this, as I said, this principle is very much there in outside world also. People, invite guests, come, they give food, and then they go to their house. They will also, make meals. I've seen my mother doing. Some guests come, special item they'll make. All that is there. They want to please. Some colleague comes, some boss comes, some friends come. They do that. Or some business partner is there. They will do that. So basically, that gives some kind of bonding. So in devotee circle, we don't just give any food. What we give is prasadam. We feed prasadam and we accept prasadam. Now, sometimes it may not look like a very important thing, just by, we are giving some prasadam or accepting prasadam. It may not look like important because sometimes we think that, okay, prasadam is just required for, for keeping my body and soul together, or prasadam is required for good health, because when I have good health, then I can advance in spiritual life. So, but prasadam also, is important because prasadam is a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual item. So it actually enhances our devotion. The Prabhupada says, in Bhagavad Gita purport, just by taking prasadam, you can counteract the sinful reaction. It immunizes your body against infection of Maya. So it facilitates devotional service also. So we can have that, priti, that kind of intention in the mind that we are also facilitating this devotional service of others when we are giving prasadam. Prabhu, this prasadam from Tirupati Balaji, prasadam from Radha Vrindavan Chandra. So that way devotee will remember the deities, devotee will accept the prasadam, they will get purified, their Krishna consciousness will be enhanced. So we can have that mood by giving prasadam also. And we want to please the devotee, we want to facilitate his devotional service. And the principle is, as I said, it is universal principles that when we give that kind of, when you do that, giving prasadam, accepting prasadam, so it also, brings some kind of priti, affection for each other. Because this is also kind of service. So now you may wonder, in the sixth item, the serving devotee is not there. Somebody say, Prabhu, where is the item of serving devotee, all that. So that is part of service only, because the mood is to serve. Mood is to facilitate that devotee. So by giving the prasadam, sometimes and devotee may actually need a prasadam. Like sometimes some devotee is going for home and he couldn't get time to manage his food and all that. And you see that devotee doesn't have prasadam, so you go and cook and give him. So that is, again, it will increase affection. It's affectionate dealing actually. So that devotee will remember for life. That devotee cooked for me. When I was going like that, and some affection will be awakened in his heart for you, like that. Or sometimes somebody may be sick, and he may need some special health prasadam. So it's a very nice opportunity. We can serve the devotees by giving the prasadam that time, right? So that way also, that loving bond is increased that way. So this works, this works. It's a simple thing, but it works, very deeply. But as I said, though it is simple thing, but we have to keep that mood also, because mood is that we are actually helping the devotee in a spiritual way. Though we are, prasadam look like apparently for the body is hungry, we just give them prasadam, but serving the body of the devotee also is service to devotee. It's not something that is not as per the spiritual, exchange. That is also spiritual exchange, because we know that devotee is using his body in his Krishna service also. Correct? So that way the mood is to serve that devotee. So we give the prasadam and we accept the prasadam, and that also establishes devotional relationship, among devotees when we do that. Okay, so these 3 items of exchange are there essentially. So what are 3 items? Prasadam, that is food, then gifts, and then what is the third thing, which is the heart of Priti Rakshana? Sorry? That is Divya Gyan, the Bhakti Gyan, the knowledge of devotional service. So that is exchanged among devotees, like that. The 3 items of exchange are there. So overall it becomes 2, because it is 2-way. You give and you receive. That way it becomes 6, like that. Now counter to this is, we should avoid this kind of 6 loving exchanges with non-devotees. That is also important, because it can be counterproductive. So we are not careful with those people who are having some kind of enviousness towards devotees or hatred towards it, like Mayavadis, atheistics. So these kind of people are materialistic people who are too much attached to sense gratification. So when we develop intimate relationships with them, that can also cause harm to our devotion. So we should be very careful. We avoid. Like sometimes, your friend who is a karmi, and he wants to come for the birthday party, and there are so many boys, girls are going to come. So we should not be so eager to go there. You understand, no? Because that can unnecessarily, increase more closeness with that kind of association, that kind of sangha, and that may lead to unnecessarily hurting our bhakti, because we get influenced by that. So Nectar Devotion gives the example of sphatic. Sphatic? Sphatic, if you keep, if you take it close to some kind of object, it inherits the color of that object. If you take it to, some say black stone, it will become black. If you take to some red flower, it will become reddish. And if you take it very close, it will become very red, like that. The same way, when you also have this 6 loving exchanges principle, what we do with devotees, if we do it with some people, those who are not devotees and those who have materialistic tendencies, then you inherit those qualities. It comes to you also. So we have to safeguard ourselves. Now we cannot isolate ourselves in this world. Okay, I'm not going to talk to any devotee. Like Chaitanya Prabhu said, even if he sees some materialist, he will jump into Ganges. He would say that. Chaitanya Prabhu is so strict. So we may not be able to do that, because we are living in this world. We have to work. We may have to associate with people, those who are sense gratifier or Mayavadi, atheistic. We may have to associate. Correct? But we have only official relationship with them. We don't take initiative, or we are not so eager to have this kind of loving exchanges. Like I remember when I was there in my company, Sama Technologies, long time back, 2012, I believe. So that time, there were devotees who take prasadam we had like 3-4 floors. So for that floor, my company was there, and there's another devotees, and they have another company also. I mean, their company was different, but they're different floors. The company was there. So when I got to know I have to work here, then I got to know, okay, there's some more devotees, 3-4 devotees are there. So then we would contact each other, and what time we are taking lunch. So we would come to one place. It was like a secret place. It's like a kind of somewhere in backside, and some staircase. So we would come and we'd take prasadam together, and we would avoid consciously taking prasadam with those colleagues, because that can unnecessarily negatively affect, because while taking prasadam, they want to offer also to us the challenge, or they will speak something about some gratificatory thing, some movie, something, because it's a light environment. Then they may exchange and share their heart and things like that. So unnecessarily, we may get unnecessarily influenced. So why to do that? Sometimes we are obliged, some kind of party or some kind of thing where it's like a lot of official pressure is there. So we may be not so eager. We may go and be like an official way. We can just maybe take some fruits and all, we'll come back. But we don't too much take interest there. You getting this, no? So we should be very official, in this outside association. So sometimes what happens, we do opposite. With devotee, we are maybe very official. And with non-devotees, we are very open. So that's why that is a Karnishta mentality. That means we are not having that kind of appreciation for devotees, and we don't have this loving exchanges with them, and we will be more closely relating with our relatives, family members, and our old friends, and having more sharing of our heart, joys and sorrows with them. So that is actually dangerous for bhakti. So we are not making it, then we will not properly make advancement. So it's both ways. You understand? No? So it is very, just like gave the example is fatigue. So now when we have sex loving exchanges very nicely with devotees, then so very nicely. So it is very important. Why? Because some devotee is very enthusiastic. Then if you have affection for that devotee and you're doing, your loving relationship is established, and then Guhyam Akhyati Pachati happens, then you can also become very enthusiastic just by association of that devotee. Because you will also inherit the quality of that devotee. Some devotee is very determined to chant, very nicely. He'll sit in the temple hall, 16 rounds, he will just finish. Just by associating with that devotee, just by sharing, this doing these 6 loving exchanges with that devotee, you'll also develop the quality of being determined to chant nicely. Sometimes otherwise, we may be seeing sometimes devotee may be chanting, seeing the mobile also, and chanting, going here and there, doing that. So that means we are very distracted. But we see some devotee, and he's just chanting, he's just like absorbed. And so when you associate with that, what will happen? He will share his realization, he will share his intentions, how he wants to take chanting seriously. So all that thing will affect you. All that will affect you. So now if you have this kind of closeness with some non-devotee, now he will talk about some girlfriend thing, he'll talk about some political thing, he'll talk about how he has further plans for doing so this thing, that thing, material greed, money. Then those things will come in you also. You'll also get that way interested. So that's why it is counterproductive. If you do this 6 loving exchanges principle, if you follow with non-devotees, you have to be careful not to do that. So we should avoid with materialists, and we should very nicely do it with devotees. So when we do this 6 loving exchanges with devotees, we'll make very nice advancement. Because our growth in devotional service depends upon the quality of association what we are having with devotees. And association means we have to know what way we associate. As we discussed now, that we should eventually develop that affectionate feelings for each other, and then the essence is Guhyam Akhyati Pachati should happen. And Guhyam Akhyati Pachati also, Guhyam means not some kind of secret here and there, talking about ill of that devotee. Prabhu, that devotee did with me this thing, that devotee that this is wrong here, that is wrong here. That's not the mood. Mood is to actually elevate our consciousness. And how we can get elevated consciousness, and there is some spiritual discussion happens. So this, there is when association means what? When the 2 devotees come together, then there is some spiritual discussion, then there is knowledge transfer, and then there is heart transformation. 3 things should happen. So even if we have some problem, we go with that eagerness to get enlightened and elevate my consciousness. Correct, no? Even if we have some issues of anarthas, or we are facing trouble with some devotee. So the purpose is that I want to elevate my consciousness. Purpose is, so that way we will solve our problem. We are not just trying to just talk ill about others, and that way, so that doesn't solve the purpose. Correct, no? So we have to be very focused that we want to, make our advancement in Krishna consciousness. So association with devotees means it should be done with that purpose. That's why Guhyam Akhyati Pachati is the central thing. And that can happen when there is affection among devotees. And that's why Dati prati girnati, bhungte bhojate chava also is important. So that then affectionate feeling is there. Then very easily we can inquire from devotees, about how can I make advancement in Krishna consciousness. Then very easily we can sit in the classes and hear from devotees. Very easily we can ask questions. We can associate in person and ask some confident the questions about how can I improve my chanting, how can I improve my reading, and all that can happen. Otherwise, we can just ha ha hu, he, joking, talking, chatting. So many things can go on in a name of association devotees, but we don't know what way to associate. Correct, no? So I see sometimes, in US we are so fortunate. Many great souls come, but if we don't know how to associate, then we're not able to take advantage only. Maharaj gives so he's giving class here, in class, but not a single class we attended. And Maharaj came and went. Then no Goyama Kyati Pichati. If you would have just if you just had to come and sit in his class, Goyama Kyati Pichati is happening because Maharaj is not speaking everywhere. He did not spoken in the bus, he did not speak in the airport, he did not speak in the flight. He only came and spoke to you, not the devotees here, because they are the intimate devotees. Maharaj sees them as very integral part of his family. And then he's speaking. So that is Guhyama Khyati Prachiti. Because he is sharing, his experienced devotee is sharing the spiritual knowledge. And when you come and sit in his class, you are becoming part of Guhyama Khyati Prachiti. And you develop affection for that Maharaj. And because you are receiving also, Maharaj will also develop affection for you. And then Guhyama Khyati Prachiti can enhance more. And you'll make more and more advancement in Krishna consciousness. Correct? Many things become clear. You become enthusiastic for chanting, you become enthusiastic for reading, enthusiastic for devotion. Many positive things can happen by that. So this is how it is. And one more thing I wanted to share is that so in Nectar of Devotion it is also mentioned that devotees, they should be wise to choose the association very carefully. That means we should carefully choose the association of devotees and get benefited from that association by following this principle. And we should carefully avoid the association of non-devotees or that association which is not going to benefit us. We have to avoid also. And as I said, I was discussing, within devotees also we have to be choosy, not associating with certain traits of devotees which is going to harm our devotion. Like I said, like somebody is too much into Pradalpa, blaming, criticizing, or somebody is too much attached to some sense gratification and he's very open about it or something like that, and he talks about it. So to be very careful. We don't allow that. We don't associate with that kind of thing. Correct, no? Like somebody he's attached to playing some video game, you go and you also start playing, that is not association of devotees, So we have to be careful. So we have to choose the association wisely. We have to always choose uplifting association. And when we are trying to preach also, we may preach, to innocent, but while preaching, it's like a kabaddi game, So we should, when we are preaching, we are also developing a relationship with them, correct? We also may give gift. We may also accept, give prasadam to innocent people. They are not yet become devotees, but we are doing those things with them also. So we are allowing them to develop some relationship with us, Why? To benefit them, correct, no? Because that will help them to do Guhyama Khyati Prachiti with us, and that way they can make advancement in Krishna consciousness. So we extend our hand, to them to get to have them have our association, and that way they can get benefited and they can also become devotees. Correct, no? But we have to be careful. It's like a kabaddi game. You go to them, kabaddi, kabaddi, kabaddi. You should not get carried away. In the name of preaching, you go and then you only get carried away. That should not happen.
Very good question regarding this one.
Yeah.
So, bro, like you mentioned that when we associate with non-devotees in order to preach with them, so that is for their benefit. Is it that, like, in some scenarios, let's say when we are under supervision of a senior, and whenever if we have instruction from a senior to approach these people, and that sets up our mind that our senior has some expectation. So if you approach them like in the mindset to fulfill that expectation, that is also like that is also good, or is that like to be forced? What do you think?
Forcing them?
नहीं मतलब अगर हम वो expectation हमारे senior के expectation के लिए हम मतलब हम ये सोचे कि हमारे senior हमसे expect करता है that we need to approach people, we need to get people. So is that also part of Like that association that you were talking about.
Association with whom?
Matlab, is that good? If you push ourselves with that mindset, that
Yeah.
we have to get.
But that push is out of inspiration, out of gratitude. Let's say we receive the knowledge from them, and we ourselves are benefited from devotional service. So then we, just like you get something wonderful, then you want to share with others also. So that push is aligned with our inspiration also, with our gratitude also. See, Vaisashika Maharaj says this: preaching is outflow. When you more feel relished in your own devotional service, preaching is natural. You want to share. So some push from the senior, it actually gives you a platform, or it gives you a further reason, to come out of your comfort zone and do that. So you will be more grateful for that. So like when Radha Shambhu pushes me, or say Radharani Maharaj pushes Radha Shambhu, take up USA preaching and all. So they're very grateful for it. Because they are feeling anyway grateful for how much we have got this devotional service.
Like I was thinking too, like whenever we think of that, we are not thinking of the person's benefit. We are trying to meet our own expectations.
No, but the person is benefited.
Person.
Yeah.
Also,
in both ways.
Also we don't
Yeah.
think
like we want to please the Lord, but we want to, but we are pleasing that Jiva also, because he's coming closer to Krishna. So we keep the overall mood of helping him also, and also we are pleasing. So see, when there is a fruitive mentality, like say, I want to get more people so that I can tell that I am the biggest servant of my teacher. That is a fruitive mentality. That's a material mentality. When we are not having that kind of materialistic mindset, we are only thinking in terms of how I can please my superiors, not by getting the numbers, by having this wonderful act of sharing, which is service. Now, how many people will come and all, that is different thing. But I do my duty. That it is, and that will please them, and that will help them also. That will also give them opportunity to take Krishna consciousness. So we have to do that. It's a service. It's a service we want to do for our, to Krishna and Guru, and also to them, the jivas. Because how you're going to serve them? So the best way to serve them is to help them to come to Krishna. Just like both moods should be there. Does it clarify?
Yeah. I do.
So anyway, so I was saying that when we are trying to preach the message, so we are also doing going by Kati Prachati. We are actually developing relationship with them, correct? With the new students also, we may give them gifts, we give them prasadam. Our Boston temple, so much we give prasadam. We talk to them. So we are trying to develop relationship, but the intention is to give our association and help them to come to bhakti. Not that we get carried away. So you are there in Bivayas, and after developing a relationship, you give up the Bivayas and you go to their hostel, sit with them only, and then you also start watching movie. That is not the point, right? Just like a kabaddi. We don't want to get carried away by them. We want to bring them to our party. That's our intention. And for that, we need to have a very strong, loving exchanges with devotees. We have to be properly situated there. That's why the devotee who is very nicely, having that kind of loving exchange with devotees and having Guyamakati Pachati nicely, stably situated, can very easily, can also extend, to help others also, and that is preaching.
It's like a magnet.
It's like a magnet, correct.
If you are the weaker magnet, then you'll get pulled to the materialistic person.
Correct.
Stronger magnet, you'll pull them.
Correct. And we need to have that strong connection with devotees through Priti Lakshana. So when we offer that help, then the Priti Lakshana, so that Priti Lakshana, what we're trying to do with them, will pull him also to your place. Not that you are weakly connected, then they may pull you there. So you have to be careful. That way. So that's the part of preaching. Correct? So it's like a kabaddi. That way. So establish a nice relationship with devotees who have enthusiasm and determination, then we also easily can develop those things, correct? So certain points to ponder. The relationship dynamics vary with different types of devotees. That we'll discuss in the next session. And then he says, official relationship versus intimate relationship, that we discussed already. That with non-devotees, we should have official kind of relationship. With devotees, we should have loving relationship, like that. We should see them as our brothers. Like all our devotees in Prabhupada's family, they are our brothers and sisters. They are part of family. Sometimes we think our family, the so-called family. Sometimes some devotees family and devotees also. But I'm saying in general, like our relatives and those are material side of that. Sometimes that may be more loving having more loving exchanges and more prominent than the devotees. So you have to be really more, you have to endeavor that we develop more loving relationship with devotees and become, that family becomes prominent part of our life. So then you say, why we don't develop such good relationship with devotees, and we still remain official sometimes. So answer is that sometimes we don't understand the importance of that association of devotees. How important it is to have loving relationship with devotees, because it is very crucial for our spiritual advancement. As I said, because if that loving relationship with devotees is there, then Guhyamakati Pachati will happen nicely. Correct? And that is very crucial for growing in our bhakti. But otherwise, if you simply misunderstand the devotee, for no reason you misunderstand him, and you find fault. So yeah, so Bhanu Maharaj was telling this point that how that fault finding tendency, can spoil the whole game. So we may see more fault than good. So there are so many good things, but we catch one fault and we just focus on that, and that becomes big thing. And then we will not able to properly have loving exchanges with devotees. That is the problem. So we have to have respect, and we should be willing to overlook the fault and see the good, and serve the devotees by doing these 6 loving exchanges. So because if misunderstanding is there, then we will keep distance, then we will not able to advance properly. Correct? So seeing fault, then good. Seeing fault is also an anartha. So how are the counterattack to this? How to avoid that? Having humility and respect. That is the key. Because who am I to see the fault? When we are ourselves is honeycomb with faults, then how can I see fault in others? We may be apparently having one fault. I have hundreds of faults. So that's why we can avoid seeing the fault by having humility. And having respect, see the good side of the devotee, how the devotee is chanting, how the devotee is doing so many services, how the devotee is so nicely engaged in cooking, cleaning, whatever services he might be doing, preaching, or how he is attending the classes, reading Prabhupada. There's so many things. He's chanting Hare Krishna. There's so many ways to see good. So why not see those good things and respect the devotee? And yeah, so if you are, because sometimes what happens when we are purposefully avoiding the devotees, having misunderstanding and all that, so it also can be a sign of disrespect. So that may be some kind of aparadha may happen, become negative, critical, and all that. So if we ourselves are looking for substance of bhakti, we will not be shadowed up with the sentimental ideas. So this sentimental idea of association will be able to give up when we are very serious about the bhakti, and then we will actually learn to properly associate devotees, which we discussed today. So if we cultivate pure bhakti, it will flow as loving relationship with devotees as well. So if you are actually becoming more and more lover of Krishna, if you naturally have that, you will also be able to have loving relationship with devotees as well, like that. So or other way around, when we try to properly associate with devotees and have loving relationship with devotees, based on bhakti gyan, Vaimakati Prachati, so then what happens? Then our relationship with Krishna also becomes wonderful. That's how we can access Krishna also more and more. So only when we desire to practice bhakti genuinely, giving up all material desires and all, and be very serious about and seriously make progress in Krishna consciousness, then only we become very serious about Vaishnava relationship. And for that, the key, as I said, Tinadabi Sunichana, which I came up with, one should put that necklace. That's how one can. Because unless we don't have that humility and respect, it becomes very challenging. Because there will be always something, some misunderstanding, some faults. Many material things will be there. So it's all on third will pop up. So yeah, but when we have that humility and tolerance, and when we want to really make advancement in Krishna consciousness, then we'll work on it. We will work on it. We will not find reasons to be away from devotees. Rather, we will find the reasons and find what way I can, equip myself so that I can properly learn to associate with devotees and have Priti Lakshanam and Goyama Khyati Pachati and can make advancement in Krishna consciousness. So any comments or questions? I just elaborated today the 4th verse, and we can begin maybe the next, but we will complete later. Yes, any reflection, any comment, any questions? Any one point?
Um,
Yeah.
like you said in the beginning, association is based on respect. Yeah, association is based on respect. We should respect the devotees. We shouldn't respect them, otherwise it will lead to offenses.
So I was in the beginning, I was mentioning that the respect is the most important ingredient in spiritual life. For any aspect, like even chanting, holy name, we have to have respect. Deity, you have to respect. So when we associate devotee, the crucial thing is respect. Respect is the base point. But when the respect is not there, then we're not able to associate with devotees. Because then respect is not there, then we'll take devotees casually, then there'll be offenses, and further respect will go down, and that will hurt our devotion. The respect is a very fundamental thing. And that's why we have this kind of culture. We offer obeisances to each other. We have certain etiquettes, so we follow them. So that helps externally to keep that respect. But one has to also internally think about how devotees are dear to Lord, and having that humility, that kind of attitude will give us this attitude of respect. Yes, thank you, Gopal. Good point. Anybody else? You told a crucial point. Yes. Any one point? Sumit Prabhu, Ashish Prabhu, Kaushik Prabhu, or Ajit Govind Prabhu? Just one point.
Like Guhyam Akhyati Prachati is the heart of all this loving exchange.
Yes.
Yeah, Vayamagati is the heart of all this loving exchanges. Correct. Yeah, it's not that we just give gift, accept gift, feed food, and then after that sleep nicely, and then go for a movie. No, not like that. It should enhance. So this is I said the whole NOI is for those who want to go back to Godhead. They want to become seriously pure devotees. So these things are going to facilitate us to be able to associate with devotees nicely and have nice Gujama Kati Pachati and wonderfully learn the science of devotional service while when you have that Gujama Kati Pachati, and then you can very nicely progress in devotional service. Yeah. Yes, Ashish Prabhu, Kaushik Prabhu, Ajit Govind Prabhu. Ajit Govind Prabhu, you're there?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm there. I'm there.
Okay. Any point you want to share?
No, Prabhu, I'm all good. I'm actually not being that because I missed out a lot. So I'm comparing with the book and trying to catch up. So
Really? But I still try to revise many things many times. So
yeah, but I was not following that carefully because I was a little behind. I'm so sorry, Prabhu. For today's class, I'm not being that attentive.
Okay. Kaushik Prabhu?
Yes,
Kaushik, Ashish? You want to say any point? Kaushik and Ashish?
like Prabhu, I like the point of like how should one should associate with devotees, and that upliftment may like that will stay connected, and we increase faith in our God, like if we stay with devotees, and that help us. I like that point very much because I'm implementing that, and it is helping me.
Yeah. So many times we are very eager, to go to the party and home ceremonies and all that. But there are many things happening in temples, no? So sometimes we miss them. So we should be eager to have
Yes,
that loving
Prabhu.
relationship
Yes,
with devotees more. Because Preeti
as
Lakshmi with
example,
devotees. Yeah, because that will enhance our bhakti, But if we develop intimate relationship with our friends, relatives, social society members, then we will be pulled in material direction. Correct. No? So yeah, so we have to choose our association and develop that loving bond with them. That is required, and that way we will be able to go to spiritual world, because these devotees are also serious devotees are going back to spiritual world. So we also will go back to spiritual world that way. So we have to be careful. So
yes, Prabhu. Like I want to mention when I get the first chance of doing service when Lord Rath Yatra, Lord Jagannath Rath Yatra in Boston, and I seriously it was my great pleasure, and I get to know that how like my devotees, serious senior devotees, and all other who are just serving the God, and how the bond is. So surely pleased. I surely get that, and I get motivated in that, and I surely want the chance again and again if if I get.
Yeah, correct. Actually, the first step is, Prabhu, to be with devotees. The first
Yes,
step.
Prabhu.
But if you don't stay with devotees, then you won't have any chance. Then you'll have only Janmashtami chance, Rath Yatra chance once or twice in a year only.
No, Prabhu.
But if you stay with devotees, every day you have chance to do so much of this Priti Lakshana. Because whosoever you stay with, naturally that six things will happen with them. You'll take prasadam with them. I mean, whatever the food you may be taking. So that happens naturally. That naturally will develop close relationship with them then. Correct. So that's why first thing is to be with devotees. Then second step is to associate with them nicely. Correct, no? And then third step is how to
Yes,
associate
Prabhu.
different kinds of devotees. That is going to come in next verse.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, that's why we should also endeavor to be with devotees. Stay with devotee association only. Not stay with any non-devotees. That's not very good. But staying with devotees is crucial for our advancement in bhakti. Okay, so I'll go to the next verse. Still 10 minutes are there, at least I'll begin this. And then we can discuss tomorrow more. This is text 5. We can begin this. So you can repeat after me. Krishneti yasya girim tam manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranatabhischa bhajantamisham shushrushaya bhajana vigyamananyamanya nindadishunya hridamipsati sangalabdhya. You can read the translation.
Oh, okay. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of the Lord Krishna. One who should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone the spiritual and is engaged in worshiping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others.
Yeah. So now here he's talking about three kinds of devotees. Kanishtha, Madhyama, and Uttama. So mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of the Lord. And one should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and engage in worshipping the deity. That is typically Madhyamadikari. And the first one is typically Kanishkadikari. And one who should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. So it's very beautiful. So he said, in order
Prabhu, can you please explain me again? I mean, I didn't get it. It's like
yeah,
the three.
anyway, we'll have the entire lecture today and tomorrow we'll have this. Tomorrow
Okay.
the next is there. Yeah, so mentally honor the three kinds of one who is chanting the holy name, but so it will come, description will come called the Kanishtadikari. Kanishtadikari may not know how to deal with devotees nicely. So they may not associate with devotees properly. But they chant the holy name, so they are not that very fixed in their faith in pure devotion sometimes. Or they may be fixed in their faith, but they're not so much respectful to devotees sometimes. Their faith is not that strong also, called Komala Shraddha. So the different way the Kanishadikari is described, the purport you see. Madhyamadikari is like a steady devotee, more fixed up devotee. He stands, he got initiation, he's worshipping the deity, and he's seriously practicing, and he behaves with devotee nicely. He has friendship with devotees, he has love for the Lord, he has merciful disposition towards innocent, and he avoids envious people. And then the third category of devotees, he is like Mahabhagavat. He is completely devoid of any propensity to criticize others, and is engaged in another devotional service. He's a very Mahabhagavat pure devotee of the Lord, like that. So three categories of devotees: Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttamadikari. Okay. So in order to intelligently apply the sixfold loving relationships mentioned in the previous verse, he says one must select proper persons with careful discrimination. Right? So now how we should associate and how we should deal with different kinds of devotees, it is mentioned here. Srila Rupa Goswami advises that we should meet with the Vaishnavas in an appropriate way according to their particular status. In this verse, it tells us how to deal with three types of devotees: the Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. Kanishtadhikari is a neophyte who has received the Harinam initiation. Sometimes Kanishtadhikari may also not receive a Harinam initiation. That also, he also may be called Kanishtadhikari. Or sometimes he may be just chanting once or twice, but he has some faith in worshipping the Lord. He does some puja to Krishna and all that thing. And sometimes he may have mixed faith also. He may be worshipping Krishna and he may be doing some other things also, some demigod worship also. But he has, at least he's chanting, even once also he chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or he chants the holy name. He may also be called Kanishta. But Kanishta also can have different shades. Same way Madhyama also can be in different levels. So like that. So, but it's one type of Kanishtadhikari where he might have taken initiation, Harinam initiation from spiritual masters, trying to chant holy name. So one should respect such a person within his mind as Kanishta Vaishnava. So later it will come that how he may not properly behave with devotees sometimes. So his faith is not that strong also, and he is more little neophyte. I mean, he's not mature enough to actually understand the importance of devotees. So that's why he's Kanishtadhikari. So it will come later. Madhyamadhikari has received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master and has been fully engaged by him in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. This is Madhyamadhikari. The Madhyamadhikari should be considered to be situated midway in devotional service. The Uttamadhikari, or the highest devotee, is one who is very advanced in devotional service. And Uttamadhikari is not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean, and he has attained the realized state of unalloyed Krishna consciousness. So according to Srila Rupa Goswami, the association and service of such a Mahabhagavat or perfect Vaishnava are most desirable. So that's why whenever the great souls come, especially we see when pure devotees, gurus, very senior Vaishnavas they come, we should be very eager to take association actually. Much more we should give priority because it's very rare. So, and we should serve them also. We should be very eager to serve them, take their association, hear from them, attend their classes. Very, very important. That will help us to make wonderful advancement. So, and they're very pure in their consciousness. So that kind of association is very, very benefiting. So it says one should not remain a Kanishtadhikari, one who is situated on the lowest platform of devotional service and is interested only in worshipping the deity in the temple. Such a devotee is described in the 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, Archayam eva hariye, pujam ya shraddhayata, natat bhakteshu chanyeshu, sabhakta prakrita sprataha. What he says, a person who is very faithfully engaged in the worship of the deity in the temple, but who does not know how to behave with devotees or people in general, is called a Prakrit Bhakta or Kanishtadhikari. So who may be having worship of the Lord, he has faith in the Lord, but he doesn't deal properly. He doesn't properly offer respects to devotees or people in general. He may criticize them, he doesn't like them, or he'll say they're all, he has nothing to give and take with them. He is more interested in just Lord only. So, but as you become Madhyamadhikari, you give importance to devotees because you understand Krishna says, Mad Bhakta Puja Dika. Respecting my devotees, worshipping my devotees is more important than worshipping me. As you become more mature and understand, how actually Krishna is more pleased when we serve devotees, how we can approach Krishna through devotees. I cannot directly jump over Krishna. I need devotees, I need to be servant of devotees. Then only I can please Guru and then I can please Krishna. That understanding, when he's fixed in, then he comes to Madhyama. And that's how he becomes, then he befriends with devotees. That is Madhyamadhikari. This is the next verse coming. One therefore has to raise himself from the position of Kanishtadhikari to the platform Madhyamadhikari. Madhyamadhikari, described in Srimad Bhagavatam, is Ishvare tad adhineshu balisheshu dvishat suja prema bhakti prema maitri kipapeksha ya karoti sa madhyama. The Madhyamadhikari is a devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the highest object of love. So he has the love for the Lord much more than what Kanishtadhikari has, first thing. But he does more thing. What? He makes friends with the Lord's devotees. So he's very friendly with devotees. That means he loves devotees. He has affection for devotees also. And he's friendly with them. He will not unnecessarily, be critical to devotees and all that. He'll be more loving and friendly. And makes friends with the Lord's devotees, merciful to the ignorant. And he will not just, criticize the non-devotees and look them down or something like that. He will have a mood to help them by sharing Krishna consciousness. So he'll be merciful to the ignorant and avoid those who are envious by nature. There's some people who are very against the Lord, envious of the Lord. They want to attack one devotee. So he avoids them. Uttavadikari, may not avoid because he sees everybody as pure soul. He doesn't get affected. But sometimes Madhyadikari will avoid because that will unnecessarily aggravate the envious and they may commit further offenses. So Madhyamadikari has a discrimination. So you can see how Madhyamadikari is having that alertness to discriminate and choose the association which is favoring his Krishna consciousness. Right? So he will avoid the envious because that may affect his Krishna consciousness. He will give bhakti to innocent, share the devotional knowledge to innocent because they can become devotees. He'll be friend with devotees, serve the devotees, and he will love the Lord. So this is Madhyamadikari. So this is the way to cultivate devotional service properly. Therefore, in this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami has advised us how to treat various devotees. So this is how it is explained. So I'll pause here. Today time is up, but we can continue from here. Okay, I want to ask, tomorrow we don't have session, right? Are we having tomorrow?
Yeah, what's tomorrow? Oh yeah.
No, Prabhu, we are not having. I just checked the schedule. Tomorrow, Chandramouli Maharaj home program is there in the afternoon also and in the evening also.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not there. So tomorrow Maharaj Bhagavatam class is there. Sunday Maharaj Bhagavatam class is in temple and Sunday feast.
Tomorrow Sunday, tomorrow also Bhagavatam class, no?
No, tomorrow Bhagavatam class, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's only the house program at Paramrupa Prabhu's house.
Okay.
And that's in the evening. I thought it's in the afternoon.
That's the afternoon, and then evening Maharaj is coming to temple, no? Saturday night Kirtan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Prabhu, should we have some class tomorrow or we can skip?
When would we have?
Huh?
But then, when will you have? Because Paramrupa Prabhu's house program is also there.
What time it is?
1 to 3. Then by the time we get back, it's 4. Then we have to prepare.
Yeah, and then personally speaking, it would be very difficult for me because I'll start cooking at 2.
Okay.
So
no, I understand.
yeah, it would be difficult for me to juggle. Then it's like if majority is comfortable, then I will have to skip the class.
I understand.
Yeah.
No problem. Only thing is we are a little lagging. It's okay. We'll see. We'll see some other time. We'll cover it up.
Let's fourth section, fourth verse.
Yeah. No, but we should do more. Actually, I made it more. But I think it's become very difficult to do justice then. And today, Ajit Gunpura, I was more slow. You observed it?
Yeah, but you were slow, but then I was not attentive because it took long time for me to wrap up garland because I had to make garland for Chandramouli Maharaj. So I had additional garlands to make and then preparing for tomorrow's feast cooking also.
What did we miss though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're already following what we are discussing.
No.
So we can learn from you.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, bro. Yeah. If you get time, we can hear because some discussion we had, some nice discussion. So like the continuation will be there for the next class. Okay, bro. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Do you want to say something, Sumit, bro?
Yeah, like Sunday timing we can shift by 1 hour.
Yeah. Sunday we are meeting at 9:30. Okay.
9:30 to
3. 9:30 to 12, then 12:30. Okay, bro. Ashish and Kaushik, if you want, you can come to temple 9:30 to 3.
When, Prabhu?
Sunday.
Sunday, at what time?
We are having classes from 9:30 to 3.
I mean, from morning 9 to 3.
Yeah, 9:30 to 3.
Okay.
Half an hour lunch break. Okay.
Sure, Prabhu. I have a hackathon in my MIT.
Okay.
So I will be